Welcome to today's intention. Today we're going to talk about the limit because in tennis we always try to look for the information, for the repetition, and we think that in that way we can help the player. But it's not. When you do a information to the player and you get the repetition of this information, you think that he's going to internalize that information and then he's going to set. But it's not. Because the game has no organization. So your repetition doesn't work. It means that the training has to be like it's not important, the information, the repetition, absolutely not. But the important thing is that the player know her or his limit. Because a tennis match and a tennis training has to be one boy or girl that arrives to the court, died, and then get a new one. So, in the door of the court, get to the court one person, and when the training is go, there is another person. And you can find that by information and repetition. You just find it when you push to the player to the limit. And now you can say the information because the attention in that moment is going to be huge, completely. But if the player arrived from his home, he was on the couch playing video games, and then the father said, "Okay, it's time to go tennis," and then he takes 10 rackets that he has. He has 10 years old, but he has 10 rackets, and then a lot of shoes that he has to choose which shoes. Okay, and then the father drive the kid to the club, and now I have to change. Now the player have to change. Yes, of course I'm going to change. He's not going to change. He is too comfortable. And our job is to try to the player leave everything, and now he can learn something. But when the player arrives from those commodities, then you say information, and then you say repetition. That doesn't make sense. Because the attention of those players are far, far away from the court. And you need plenty attention. And this plenty attention is just possible when you push the player to a limit. And when he is or she is in that limit, now you say the information. And you're going to see that now the attention is full. Because she or he is tired, very tired, uncomfortable. That's what you need, that the player feel. Because now it's growing. Now you are changing the player. Your repetition and information doesn't do that. It's more time that you lose. Because when they arrive to the player, they cannot repeat nothing. And the information they don't know how to handle. Yes or not? because you explain a lot of information in the training, and then you do a lot of repetition, and when they arrive to a match, it's a mess. Of course, it's a mess, because training like this is like an organization of the game, because the coach wants to organize everything, and the match is everything like organization? No, it's totally the opposite. So we need to push our student to the limit, because then you are changing the person. Then the decision that he's going to make on the play is going to be different, because he gets the experience of that. So we need that every kid that go inside a core has to be one version, and then when they finish the lesson, there is another version. This is our goal. Not more information, not more repetition. Because the repetition without the intention of the player doesn't matter. The information without the intention of the player doesn't matter. But if the player has an intention to play, everything makes sense. Now makes sense. We need to develop the player. We don't have to bring more information and repetition, because in the match, it's going to be totally different. And the only thing that can do something is the player, the intention of the player. And if you push the player in every training to the limit, do you think that is going to be different in amounts? Yes. Do you feel that the father or the mother is going to see that something is changing, even if they lose? For sure. Because the energy, you can feel it. The problem is that is no energy, just information and repetition. And the player, away, looking for being in his room, playing video games and choosing which is the pair of shoes that I have to use today to combine with my clothes. This is the player that you have. Imagine a player that he arrives to the court like, oh my God, I'm going to die again. It changed your mind. It's the key. But we want the control, the organization, the information, the repetition. And here we are. The training is one thing, and the match is totally different. And then the father say, hey, what happened? No, we need to work on the technique more. Yes, this is the way that you get away from the responsibility as a coach, and also it's good for the player. Because now when you say, well, we need to work more in the technique, you don't say nothing, and no one can get guilty. Nobody can has the punishment of that. So it's okay. So the father can I say, okay, you're not doing your work, and the kid also is allowed of the responsibility. But now you know, if you don't push your student to the limit in one lesson, you lose the lesson. The player has to come one version, And when the training is finished, has to be another version. Because this is the only way that you have the player in the match. I hope you like this video, and we'll see you soon. Bye.